best intro of all YouTube shows.
Indeed. And we have our new side-by-side screen format here.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. I got a giant head, which is very fitting because I do have a giant head in real life. So this camera angle is perfect. You have captured my giant dome, the essence and just the everything of my giant dome. I love this. I love this, dude. I'm looking at this right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on,
hello.
man?
Well, hello to you, sir.
How you doing?
That was a pretty hard cut. All right, just start now. Let's go.
Let's do this.
But yes, welcome to everyone to the show. Welcome, Verne.
How can you welcome? How can you welcome me to my own show?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, yeah, you are the one running everything. You're the one. Yeah, I'm trying to be the host.
I'm the executive producer, the editor, the
board op, everything.
The sound on-site sound technician.
I'm just talented.
You're the off-site sound technician because you have your own end. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got this thing going with Damn, dude, you should tell me it was zoom that close. All right. Like I said, I can adjust the mic, so it's not just all me behind like this the whole damn time. You know, what's up, everybody? I don't know what's going on. You know. Yeah, I do have to say, man, yeah, it's off to you for having to handle all of this on your own. Because before, I mean, it was a 2-man op that we were doing when I was back in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And now, you know, down here.
Back before you left me all on my own.
And I left you with a nice board. I mean,
you did. You did.
But more or less, how you been, bud? How's your week been?
I've been playing bass and playing Minecraft. I decided I was going to go all J.R.R. Tolkien dwarf-esque with my mind. So rather than just having a second level to my mine, I have all my animals down in my mine. So I decided to open up the second floor area above that. So it's a bigger, more open space. And I'm going to do the whole main, I guess you could call it a hallway of my mine. Is going to be two levels. There's going to be like a railing along the top and everything. It's going to be kind of cool.
Okay. Why would you put all the animals down there?
So I don't have to hear them mooing and clucking and oinking and stamping their feet and bleating outside of my place.
Outside of your
while
residency.
I'm doing stuff topside, I guess you could say.
I mean, I guess that is the one thing that they kind of get you with a bit is, yeah, go ahead and farm the hell out of it and get yourself a lot of chickens and cows. But, you know, you have a lot of chickens and cows. So
yeah. Gotta have that food.
I have to, I don't know, man, with all this time I have on my hands, it's just like so many people want me to do so many games.
I gotta get you on my brother's realm.
That's what I'm saying. You're not, see, you take a number, man. Take a number. Like, I gotta get back up with my clan and Hell Let Loose.
You can help us build our village, and then get villagers to bring to our village, so that I gotta go
help shoot Nazis in the face. So, you know, I gotta do that.
Well,
April 18th.
And explodey dicks and.
Well, there's that too. Yes, but I mean, depending on. We're buffer. Oh, there it goes.
Come on, because then we can do it. Then we can do
Well, the co-streams, yeah. That's the thing is that you can show your because I definitely have the abilities now to stream, and especially with this camera that I have. It's a really not a bad camera that I got here. Especially with this thing now. There's certain titles that I can easily stream, like Hell Let Loose. I can't stream that at all. Minecraft, yeah, I think I've even done it already. Probably stuff like the Endless games, Endless Legend, Endless Space, Dungeon of the Endless, Uh-oh. Oh, I dropped out. There I am. But it depends on the title and like how much of a graphics hog it's going to be and everything. Because
Hmm.
I got a pretty sweet machine for my birthday last year. It's still old. It's like it was like a used machine, but it's still like dude, it's able to play. I can play. I've been doing that new Mountain Blade. You ever hear of them? Mountain Blade 2, Mountain Blade games.
No, never heard of those.
Bring this up, dude. It's actually pretty cool. Like you are William Wallace. You're
Hmm.
William. You know what I mean? Like you're William Wallace, dude. Like it's fictional, but they base it off upon like a combination of like Western and quote unquote Western civ and Middle Eastern
So what's it
civilizations.
called?
Mountain Blade 2, Bannerlord. That's the newest one. It's the sequel after 9 years
Hmm.
from the OG that got everybody, all the gamers, in this like action RPG. And dude, I'm talking like 500 on 500 battles. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, dude. Like, and
So
if you
it's
got a
called what?
machine, Mount and Blade.
Mount
Yeah, yeah,
and Blade.
Mount and Blade.
Bannerlord.
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 Bannerlord. Yeah, and just I mean, just maybe find like a gameplay video. Don't run the sound, so maybe we can just get away with. I don't know if you set any screens up to run. If you set your scenes up yet to run this stuff, but dude, it's dope as shit.
I
It's
mean, I'd have to. I mean, I'd just put it on the main screen here, and then I wouldn't have to look at your mug. But I'm just
come on,
playing with
this
you. I'm just playing
beautiful
with you.
giant head, this beautiful giant head.
Uh, here. All right. So come on.
But yeah, it's my younger brother got me into it. I mean, he's hip to all the new games and all the new stuff. But yeah, like I said, imagine the hack and slash of, like the Skyrim and Elder Scroll type stuff, you know,
Mm.
with its and there's the RPG element of as you do things, you get experience, do shit, learn shit, pretty much. But
Mm.
there's more to it because you have to do army management. Like you have to think about quartermaster stuff, and we will be talking about quartermaster things later. Um, but you have to think about a quartermaster. You have to think about like a surgeon. You have to think about scouts. You have to think about sergeant at arms. All these different things. In that respect of like, okay, you're running an army in like a high feudal period. You know,
What is
pretty advanced feudal period. No muskets. I don't
that? Mm.
believe in Bannerlord. I don't think they have musket or any type of gunpowder unit like that. What did they originally call them? Agger busters or something like that. Agger buster. Oh, what an ad!
What?
Oh, I hear I hear Neil deGrasse Tyson in the mix minus or whatever.
Oh,
But
yeah. It's
I'll just plow through them here real fast. But anyways, like I said, it's nights more like along those lines. Yeah, you're gonna have to mute on YouTube because I'm gonna hear it unless you cut it for me in the mix. Um,
I thought I just did.
no, okay, no, yeah, I don't hear nothing now. But just future reference. We we're still trying to learn this production too as we go,
Yeah,
man.
we're just trying to get back in the swing of things, folks.
I really wish I knew how to wire
Hmm.
boards, and I would wire one with buttons that would just be able to do shit like that, man. I mean, it's
I need to get a different chair for doing this.
oh yeah, I invested. I went and invested. But more or less, it's think knights, pikemen,
I'm
spearmen,
watching a video of it.
javelins. Yeah, can you, yeah.
It's
If you want
a
to bring some up,
1,000-person unit.
yeah. Can you bring this up?
Huh?
Can you bring this up on screen? I'll just watch I'll watch the replay of it on the feed.
I'd have to drag and drop it over here. Hold on. Let me switch to me first. Oh shit.
Oh, I just saw it. I just saw it a second
One
ago.
second. Switch to me. Feed, and then I can move this over here.
What the?
Hold on.
What? This is a shell game of camera work, man. What? Damn.
Well, you know, I don't know why this isn't working right. Hold on. You broke my computer. Nah. This is actually just not working right at all. I gotta have to close that window. Well, I saw what you were talking about. It's a pretty cool game.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I can
bring
bring
you back. Bring you back on you. What are you doing?
Since it's the month of April in the year 2020, making it 420. Oh, Cloud is back in.
Wait. Oh, Cloud back. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Getting fancy.
Yeah. Again, I'm seeing it in the replay, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I mean, that one's been the time sink. That one's been hitting it, and then playing a little bit of guitar and bass and stuff like that. I'm starting to get what would be the word? Too particular, especially in the guitar sense. Because it's just a matter of like, put the mic up to like I got this amp and I got a guitar. And one of the issues that I was having is that like, plugging the guitar directly into the board, like it just didn't really sound like a guitar. It sounded like the guitar is from the first 30 Seconds to Mars album, but not in the good way. You know what I mean? Like in a shitty way. Like they made theirs sound cool. Mine sounds bleh, even though I have a good guitar. So that's the thing. It's like I said, I got to stop being particular and just fucking do it. Just bang the shit into Pro Tools and you worry about it later. Worry about it later. Just just write the shit and get it into Pro Tools. But I get antsy.
Well, yeah, you can always adjust the sound to something later. Run it through some virtual like, virtual pedals and one of the different digital audio workstation softwares out there.
Well, I got Pro Tools.
Yeah, so you just run it through like.
Oh shit!
Okay, it needs more crunchiness. Okay, I'm just gonna distort it again.
Well, like I said, it's just there's also ways in trying to describe the sound where to describe it's a guitar coming through a guitar speaker, like a low wattage 30-watt speaker that is like intended to clip and get dirty and basically and add to that distortion sound. Like a lot of people don't realize that like half of this, oh man, I'm doing this is my job, dude. Ready? Here we go. Here I'm doing job work practice pretty much, right? So basically guitar, the distortion sound, half of it is the preamp screaming going into the power amp, and then that power amp going into a speaker that's a low wattage. That's why like there'll be a 50-watt amp, but it'll be like, a 30-watt 25-watt speaker, because the point of it is to rattle that speaker to the point where it sounds like it's taking a shit or it's about to crap out. And that's part of a distortion sound, and it adds to a compression, and it adds to like just this attack and this tightness. So when you go direct with a guitar into, say, a mixing board, like say even if you had like a DS1, like a Boss distortion pedal, and you were to take that and you were to run that directly into the mixer you got or the one that I got, and then into like your home speakers, it's gonna sound like weird. Like it's gonna sound like just this like almost synthy type thing where it's like too clean to be like like what we would assume to be like a distorted rock guitar or something that you would hear in metal. And because part of it is that it is missing that element of the low wattage speaker of having those in there for their breakup, you know what I mean, and again the compression that's caused by it, and then it's the effect. It's the effect. It's the sound. Yeah. I mean, the first concept of distortion involved Link Ray poking a hole through the cone of his guitar amp, and then Dave Davies at the Kinks taking a razor blade to his. Like they sliced the speakers up to get them to sound like that, and then hence oh, let's find another way to do it without having to wreck these amps. And it's like, well, we'll push the preamp to make the speaker get to where it simulates it at that point. And that's where that's pretty much where it is. See, now with your Zoom processor and with a lot of Line 6 processors and a lot of those things out there, they have what they call speaker emulation or amp simulators in them. And all them type of deals. So it simulates the sound of that guitar. It's even down, down to the microphone, right?
Yeah, like
dude, you can play for everybody right now. I'll tell you how it sounds, man, if you want. Yeah, you can play for everybody.
Right now, that's a simulated SVT amp. And then...
I actually didn't hear anything. Try again.
Oh, it wasn't going through the mix minus. Hold on.
Well, I didn't hear it through the mains either. Actually, don't send it through the mix minus. Yeah, don't send it through the mix minus yet. I want to hear it through your main.
Yeah. So now that's a I forgot what was the brand that
Ampeg.
Yeah, Ampeg.
Ampeg
This
SVT.
is
So it's
the flip top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should be simulating a 15-inch cabinet.
Yeah, and I heard it was coming through real nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool
that
they have
that.
I
know it's gonna be in a delay, man, but let me hear your work. Let me hear your, yeah.
Oh, now he's putting me on the spot here. We were just talking about the equipment, so demonstration.
Oh, okay. But but that's basic. Now you could, in essence, us bass players. I mean, you get to call yourself bass player now. You know.
Yeah.
But as bass players,
I've been playing constantly for 2 weeks.
We can now, of course, we have benefits of you want either a 10-inch speaker sound or the 15-inch speaker sound, but for the most part, we do have the benefit of being able to go directly through PA systems because you want to go through them subs.
Well,
like that's kind of the goal, like it's a lot of times, and I'll tell you this, a lot of times, unless you have like the DIs set up on the back of your amp to do such a thing, more often than not, if you go to
plug in the secondary cam can show the big fucking speakers.
But the bigger thing is when you more often than not, if you find yourself going to a club and you're playing shows and they tell you like, hey man, plug your bass into this and then run this other side out to your amp, they're just taking your bass pure. They're not even taking at that point, your amp is just a monitor on stage. It has nothing to do with your sound. Everything is coming off. So, but if you want to control your sound to a sound guy a bit, go look into, I'm doing commercials all day here, bro.
Yeah. I'd be like, I would be like, look, dude, I have all my equipment. I run it into my board. You can have the line out of my board.
Well, you have that Zoom, John, right?
But I have the Zoom, John. But
that's what you would take out on a show, right? That's what you take to a show?
Yeah, that's what I would take to a show.
Okay, here's what you do.
I mean, if I'm relying partially my sound on one of these amp simulators, then
because honestly, bro, here's all you would have to do to go play a show at this moment right now. You would run the two outputs. You'd plug your bass into obviously the in, and then the one output you would go get just an active speaker, like a 15-inch active speaker JBL for like $400. That's just a monitor on stage for you to listen to yourself, and then you send the direct out, which is on there, the DI John, the balance Johns. Yeah. You run that, you send that to the sound guy, and you let him, and then that way you have all your amp simulations, you have all your sounds, you have everything programmed, and whatever you hear on stage is exactly what you're going to be sending to Bull out to the booth.
Yeah,
he will be. Yeah, dude, that's bass players. We got lucky, dude. We got so lucky with a lot of that to where. Like, I got a rig, man, but I like it. It's the Fender Rumble. I mean, where's the head at? Oh, the head unit's that's back behind it, yeah.
Yeah, who knew this show was going to end up being about music for the first
like
segment.
Yeah, bro. Well, I mean, we don't want to just jump
We're going in light. We're going in with some tech stuff.
Well, exactly.
A little behind the scenes.
It's
outside of that, the camera.
But, dude, on the for real of it, like, isn't this, like, something that's not about it?
What?
What we're talking about with this gear and kind of like nerding out about music here, it's a nice distraction from it. You know what I mean? Because there's gonna be plenty of stuff to say about it.
Yeah.
For the next like 2 years or more, man. Like, you know, it's. Oh man, I'm getting real crispy on that mic.
Crispy.
There we
Crispy.
go. I gotta back off a little bit. Or I could even do this. Maybe just cut the sensitivity, and then I could. It's kind of. I kind of like getting tighter. Hang on a sec. There we go. Yeah, modulate. Add the compressor. That compressor will probably. There we go. That will probably help it. Okay, sorry about that. Again, I'm trying to figure stuff out. But yeah, again, like I said, it's a lot. It is a lot easier for space players for the sake now. Like I got that Fender, I got the Fender Rumble 500. I dig it. And the thing is like looking at it, what's out there now and how stuff goes. Like, what's to say I just don't go out and get like one of them JBL 15-inch active speakers, you know, like them DJ speakers that you just plug in, you know what I mean? Like, I had a couple of my clients, that's what they do. That's their rigs. They just go get 12s or 15s. They're like, yeah, that's it, dude. And I run a Sansamp Tech 21 and just, you know, it just goes on right on out to the PA and the tech and all that stuff. And, so I thought about it because like I got to carry 2 speakers around, and it's like, man, if I could just make this just so like literally on a dolly, one dolly. You know, bass and all, and just strapped right on, and just carry that fucker right to where I need to. Because anything else I need, like again, it's bass. You know, it's the low end. How the fuck are you not going to hear it? Especially if I'm standing next to the goddamn monitor. You know, like we'll get you an amp. I don't
know. Well, when I'm playing. Like if me and my brother start doing like show thing at some point, he's got a bass amp.
Oh yeah,
he's got a what the hell is it? Mega bass or Mark bass?
Mark bass.
Yeah, it's like this little one. He got this little one, thinking, oh, it's a little one. It's not gonna. And it's the fucking loudest goddamn thing in the entire planet.
Can I derail this for a second?
Like he turns it up to 1 and it like shakes his whole house.
Right, but can I derail this for a second?
What?
And kind of maybe like put you on the spot a little bit?
What?
Because the name Mark Bass rings a bell to a name of Mark Dice.
Oh, God.
Did you meet him?
I think so. I can't remember.
Was it you and D? I think we went over. Didn't we go over this story in the first season?
I think so.
When we were talking about the InfoWars stuff and all that.
Yeah,
crap.
I think so.
What the? I don't know if you can. I don't know if you want to take the time to like remember that, man. I don't know. What's that?
Well, conspiracy theory days.
Well, did you give thought about this? I mean, let's go behind the scenes for everyone with the show. Like, we'll have to let them executive produce. Have you given a thought about doing that segment?
What segment?
That we talked about of like just whatever the fresh one on the street is, just like picking it and
blowing apart conspiracy theories.
Well, obviously, because the new ones that are out now from that Quidiot stuff, right? It's just rehashings of the same shit. Just it's different aesthetics. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna say the leaders in the Democratic Party with the satanic pedophile cannibal rings, but before it was the Rothschilds, right? Yeah. And then before that it was another family, and before that it was another group, and then before that it was this you know,
the Illuminati's under new management.
Yeah, exactly.
It was bought out by the Waltons this time. Like, who is the evil henchman, and what are the since when do evil henchmen sell their plots to other evil henchmen? Come on.
When do they do so much signaling?
Huh?
Like that's the one because if you look like all right, well, here we go. Here's the derailment, right? So when you look, you probably remember too. So you probably remember from your times. Like there was always things like signals, like, oh, this is what they're doing to signal and code to each other out in the media and so forth and so on. And like if that wasn't the case, if that wasn't a strain, then it is one now. And it was definitely around that Pizzagate nonsense because of like how they said like, oh, the symbols on the menu meant this is they were down with fucking kids. Like that's like the new theme. I don't know if it's a new theme or if it was a theme that was up during your runs through the games and all that.
What games?
CTs. Conspiracy.
Oh, conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, back in my day when I invented one.
We're gonna have to tell that story again.
Maybe some other time.
Do you think it's still up there?
What? I don't know. I'd have to look.
I'll look right now.
I mean, I'm sure if you spend enough time, you could probably find it on the Wayback Machine, but...
No, there it is. What's these websites? Come Don Criskiodal. Islandmix.com. Yeah, there's still some sites. I don't see the original, the Big Daddy where it got. I don't see that up there.
He's Alex Jones.
Truther.org.
He's Alex Jones. The GCN Radio Communications Network. I just had to. It was just right there.
I heard that got out. Did that get out to the audience?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just sorry to buzzkill. It's no, but
you know that was damn good right there.
Oh my god, dude, that's no,
just
but
not taking this to.
There's at least two. I wonder,
tonight.
dude. I wonder if they scrubbed. I wonder if it got caught. I wonder if it caught on. Because, like I said, man, I bubbled that up to a couple prominent like podcasters or whatever.
Huh.
And I had them check it out, and they were like, "Yeah," and they were able to Google it and say it themselves and all that. And I was like, "Yeah, look, I know the guy. He's a friend. He's a friend of mine.
Huh.
You know, and it was like, well, what was his? I was like, he didn't have expertise. He was just a guy that just studied. He was just in the game and just went along with it and just added with it, you know, and went and just, shot his shot."
Yeah, sometimes you're so into it that you actually make one. And that's where I was. But then eventually, I learned how to do research.
I said, well, let me, I mean, I don't know if you want to not get deep into this. Like, what do you say? How do you look at it? Looking back on it now, like, and it's not the judge, and it's not, and if you don't feel shame for it, like looking back on it now, like, what are your thoughts to it? Like, do you feel bad about it? It's like
what do you mean? Do I feel bad about it? What, creating
like,
that
is there
conspiracy
a guilt
theory?
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm not trying to allude you to it or
I
anything.
don't feel so bad because, I mean, when was the last time you heard of somebody talking about the London bombing conspiracy?
This is true too.
I mean, I did create one. It did stick around for a while, but apparently it's petered out. I guess everybody else realized it was bullshit too.
Well, is it possible because also at that time with like the 9/11 one and a lot of that stuff, I guess.
Well, I was always of the opinion that I didn't know what really happened. Like, I find the whole thing suspicious because there are a lot of suspicious things about it. But I was never really. It was more D and B that were it was an inside job thing. Me, I was like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I know it doesn't make any sense with what they've told us. Because it just doesn't make any sense.
Was that even the tone of the original essay? Was it more agnostic? Well, the original piece. Was that
What,
your
my
tone?
London bombing thing?
Yeah, was that
My
like
London bombing thing that was one article that I wrote.
right?
But
Did it have that agnostic tone to it or no?
well, no, I thought I said it had the scent of an inside job. It seemed there was quite a lot of coincidences that happened at the same time.
Okay, no, because this is interesting in regards because of the fact that because here's what I'm saying. There's not judgments here, but what I'm getting at with is that you had this agnostic tone to it of just like, hey, look, this is a possibility. I'm not saying as the author that this is, but
well,
this just maybe.
I mean, you looked it up. You could read it, but
well, no, of course. But the thing is that like you said, it's got a hint, but it's not. But some of these folks that we mentioned in like earlier, like they ran with it like, oh, our source, we got sources. You know,
well,
dude said you were a source. You were a source.
Well, yeah. Like,
I still want to find that video.
Like, it is funny.
But they pulled him off of YouTube though, man. It sucks. They ripped all his shit off. I would love to.
Well, yeah. Like all the social media websites and shit have like been like, all right, we're done with that guy. We're done with Alex Jones.
They need to be. I mean, it's.
Yeah, because he's just a fucking huckster. He's a snake oil salesman. That's what he does. He comes up with these conspiracy theories to scare people into buying the fucking survival shit and the vitamins and fucking all the shit that he sells on this fucking InfoWars store. Like, he doesn't just sell hats and t-shirts. It's just like there's fucking vitamins and Berkey water filters and camping supplies and survival gear and shit. And it's like, that's what Alex Jones does that shit for.
He's a salesman.
You can scare people. Oh, the martial law is coming any day now, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I was wrong before, but now we have concrete proof that they're doing it next year. Like, I got government documents. Like, he always had government documents.
Always with government documents. And sources. Sources high up.
Like, yeah, there were some fucking crazy-ass conspiracies at one point, like Operation Northwoods. Like, I actually know that one was real because I actually downloaded it from, like, I think it was library.army.mil. That's where I got my copy of Operation Northwoods. That's really fucked up shit.
Well, it was a memo that was written up of like, hey, here's something we could do.
No. Well, yeah, but it got approved all the way up to the desk of L.L. Lemnitzer. And then it went to Kennedy, and he was like,
what the
are you people on drugs? I do drugs, and I wouldn't sign this. Like, because come on, it was Kennedy. Like, he did drugs.
At least drinking.
He hung out with Marilyn Monroe. He did drugs. Like, anyway, but
so
yeah,
speaking of the drugs,
that got passed all the way up that far. It just shows you how sometimes bad shit will just actually exist in the government. But well, that and there was like the fucking when they tried to fucking make flying saucers in the 40s. Project Silverbug in the late 40s and 50s. They tried to make aircraft that were radial jet aircraft. The jet engine was actually like part of the entire aircraft. It was circular. It'd suck air in from the top and blow it out the bottom. But they never really worked the way. Well, but partially, I think it was a technological issue. I think if they tried to make them today, they could.
Oh yeah, probably. Because I mean, just especially now where we are, power wise, energy wise, compared to where they were.
Well, yeah, and now we have like ultra sensitive gyroscopic sensors that would be able to be like, oh, okay, so we need a little more thrust on this side.
The ability to have the miniaturization and what it would be able to do for like computerized parts for computerized control of key systems and so forth and so on.
Yeah. I think that would be actually pretty cool. But I mean, anybody who's interested in some kooky real government stuff, go look up Project Silverbug.
But I mean, really, how
they spent a lot of money trying to do that.
How efficient is it?
What? They could get it like maybe they could get it short distance off the ground, but it was just too unstable, and they couldn't
It's
generate enough. They
probably,
couldn't generate enough thrust to.
yeah, because they probably you had to burn a shit ton of fuel just to
Well,
make
it
that
wasn't
happen.
necessarily that, but because it was this weird radial jet engine design, um, but it was just they didn't have the technology they needed to keep something like that stable. Because I mean the B-2 bomber, the flying wing, that thing wouldn't fly without its computers because it doesn't have a vertical rudder to keep it, from going just. So
Yes.
it's the computer that goes, oh, we're starting to tip this way when he didn't put a control in for that. So
Gotcha.
gotta compensate. Aircraft are
So,
cool.
so an hour in, I guess we'll now really start ranting, huh?
Uh, yeah, I guess so. Now we're into hour 2.
Um, well, it doesn't have to go 2 hours, but so I put a call out, because the title of the show, where's the stimulus? And there's a couple factors, and it's not even so much like where's the stimulus. There's also like where's the supplies.
Yeah, really.
I have to I should have did my homework and grab, but I'm a slacker. And grab these articles of the stuff that I saw today, especially a couple interviews. There was an interview with a rear, I think a lieutenant admiral, who was a guy that was pretty much in charge. Like he was like the head quartermaster,
Hmm.
and he was going on today about Jared Kushner's, the fucking Wonder Kid, his press conference. And
Hmm.
the way that the kid was up there talking about like, oh, these supplies are our supplies, or the federal supplies are ours. It's not for the states to like dip into when they run out or anything.
It's like fuck
Uh,
you. What are you there for, FEMA?
and the thing was, is like that's what this lieutenant was going on about. Like, I have no idea what type of supply chain this fucking is. I don't understand why the air bridge is being used to bring the shit in to give to the commercial sector to
Yeah.
then. Well, he was replying to the guy who is the quartermaster now. Because they were like, oh, because they had to bring back they were saying, oh, there was these commercial orders that we had to help fulfill. Like, why? Where's ours, dude? Like, where's Florida's? Where's New York's? Well, Florida got theirs. But where's PA's? Where's California's?
Yeah.
Get theirs first, and
Where's
then
New
fucking
Jersey's and fucking.
get them, and then 3M can get their fucking order. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
can wait for DHL to go pick that shit up. Right now, our C-130 Hercules fucking's got to bring them shits going back. Like,
Yeah.
and that's so. And he described it as a gangster capitalism. So there's people like using this shit to make a buck, because there's been other stories of like U.S. officials being over in China, and as a plane's being loaded up for France, just like straight dropping cash to the Chinese officials, being like, "Yo, we'll pay double right now for this shit, and we'll take it." And then they tell France, "Hey, business,"
Yeah.
So the supplies are getting fucked up,
Yeah.
and that's already going to be the worry in and of itself. And even on a lesser level with the money, with cash. So I put a call out because we saw the numbers this week of like the like, it's just, dude, it's just like insane story after story, like 6.6 million unemployed people,
Yeah.
almost 10.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Like that's a story in and of itself. So I put a little thing out on my page telling folks, just if you've been trying to apply for the unemployment insurance. So I've been trying to do it myself, and it has been an absolute fucking nightmare here in Florida. I've done it. I've given probably, okay, so I've been out of work since last Thursday, and I'm getting paid for the next 10 days. Or what would have been my 10 days of that, right? So,
Yeah.
in essence, they're giving me a paycheck.
Yeah.
My company, I gotta, for as much as I want to kick some kneecaps in middle management, upper management in my company. Uh, I do got to tip a hat and be like, yeah, 10 shifts, man. That's a paycheck. That's a pay period. So that's cool. I'll give them that. And then they said, look, we'll run benefits up until like April. I don't have them. But they're like, if you have health benefits, they run it up until April 30th. Then if you don't have the money, like they'll cover like one pay period of it that you run out. You know, in terms of like your health insurance. We're furloughed, so that means we can apply for unemployment, and the company won't jeopardize our status with the state or our claim or anything like that. And it also means too, like they're not going to terminate us. It just when everything opens back up again, then we can all fucking go back to work, hopefully. So yeah, all right, let's go file for unemployment. Cool. I got the letter stating that, and like numbers and this, that, and third. So you try to get set up on their site. No, it's just pinwheels upon pinwheels upon pinwheels. Like it goes absolutely nowhere. So, like I said, I put a call out for some people to give some stories. So I only had one person reply. 2 people technically. So what I did was I just asked everyone just like share your story, and this one person, but I told everyone I'm going to use their name and first name, initial, and state. So this is Roger B. here in Florida with me.
Yeah.
And they said, I tried filing for unemployment the night that I was laid off, March 18th. I thought I made it through the application just fine for the first time, but needed my W-2. So I saved the application and went to bed. It took a while to find it, so when I came back, my application had been reset. No problem, I thought, but when I went back in to start a new one, it kicked me back. It kicked me back to the login screen every single time. Gave up, tried the next day. By then, it was even worse. The login screen wouldn't even recognize the account I had created. Tried several times, called the phone line multiple times. Every single time and every single number just said, simply call back. It was just so overwhelmed for their callback times. Finally, the website wouldn't even let me enter the login screen, keeping me stuck on the initial privacy statement you have to agree to. I finally was able to get my application by getting up super early and doing this at 4:30 in the morning on April 3rd, which is today. When bandwidth appears to have been much less than normal. This means from start to finish, it basically took Roger B about 16 days. And Roger then went on to and Roger went on to editorialize about some points, and I'm going to as well here. Another one that I do want to share though. Now look, this is the only other story I got. I wish I got more stories because I want to get more people to say some shit. So look, if you got a YouTube account and you're watching, please fucking start laying it out, or find our Facebook page on I'm shaking the table. Find the Facebook page, Slacker Americana. Where was the other one I got in this group that I hung out in? Now, this was a person from Virginia. Where'd it go? Why can't I hit the button? I wish they had a thing where show my posts. Show what I said. There it is. This is Christopher H. in Virginia. Just applied the other day. No real issues with the process. Though I'm still technically employed, I have not been able to work since mid-March due to COVID-19. So I made sure to reiterate that wherever the opportunity arose within the application. Now I wait to see what happens. So it sounds like Christopher H. in Virginia, because you got to remember, unemployment is different state to state to state to state. The feds mandate it, but it's the 50 states all have their own individual. Hey, hi, there's 2 of you. Their own individual thing to it.
It was for a second there.
No, it's okay. So more or less, hang on a second. Let me back out of this. So more or less what's been happening with Florida is, what do you expect from years upon years of a Republican-controlled state that purposely destroyed the social system down here and the unemployment system?
Yeah.
Rick Scott, when he was governor, the senator, now senator, previously governor, had basically just gutted the entire system.
Hmm.
He set the the requirements that were on it were just set up to where you just cannot get on. And then as well as on top of that, they made the process so miserable that you don't even, because one, you get $275 a week. That's the max you get for Florida unemployment. It's $275. And the requirement, even at minimum wage, is basically like 40 hours a week.
Which
right?
pretty much means unless you work in an office.
Yeah, so you've had to maintain like 40 hours a week, I'd say like a minimum wage service job, 40 hours a week for 3 months, the quarter. Because they all unemployment, they look at it as quarterly things, right?
Yeah.
So it just, because that number, like at the 725, 750, it barely comes up with just over like $1,200 or something like that. But then like when you break down the state's like $3,400 requirement, it's like $1,100 and $1,113 or some shit. It just barely crosses over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you said, who the fuck at service jobs is gonna, like, I'm blessed because I'm good at what I do. And I was able to, because my job is technically a service job. I got full time out of it because I'm very fucking good at what I do with selling guitars, Yeah. But I mean, some of my coworkers, they're part timers, and then they're part timers there. The part timers another place. Part timers a third place. There's one person I work with. They have 3 jobs. 3.
Jesus.
3 jobs. Because it's just how the way they divvy the hours out and break hours out and everything else. So like if you lose one of them, how do you file for unemployment on that? You're a part timer, But now they're realizing, and it's, I mean, there is one official apologizing. He was hired by Ron DeSantis in 2018. His name is Ken Lawson. And he said flat out, like, I apologize for what everyone's going through. So I'm give some credit, but it's just the idea that's baked into the cake. Like, this is the concept of like how they do business. Same thing with Kushner. You know what I mean? Like, oh, these are our stockpiles to give to our boys to fucking sell to these hospitals.
Yeah.
Like, this is worrisome, dude. Like, Florida just did the stay-at-home order today. Actually, yeah, it went into effect this morning. We just did it. Y'all were about 2.5 weeks ahead of us.
Well, I've been home since pretty much before they actually made the stay-at-home order. I was like, all right, fuck this shit. I'm gonna stay home. So, but I tell you what, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna go nuts before this is all over. But I'm gonna be really, really good at bass.
There you go. Let me ask you, because here's a good metric that we could work with. When you take your walks, you know what I mean. When you head out to get your run, get your airing and all that shit, and go head to the store. Like, what's the crowd at the Wawa looking like?
I was down there earlier. There was like nobody in the store.
It's dead.
Yeah,
okay,
it's dead.
No,
everything's dead.
Yeah. Okay. So
almost everything in King of Prussia is closed. Like, except for gas stations, and like basically essential businesses, but most everything else is closed. Even the Wawas are closing between 2 and 3 a.m. to sanitize the store every night.
Do the cleaning thing, yeah. But
so
it's gonna. I don't know. I was talking with our buddy M about it. I had a good chat in Discord. It should have been a podcast in and of itself. But that's all gonna change, dude. Like, that's not good. It's not going to be the way. I don't believe.
There we go.
Oh yeah, good zoom. Yeah, bring your giant head in there. You know, but well, actually, I don't want to get in the zoom for me. I'm not getting it for the. I don't see it happening on the OBS.
Huh?
It wasn't happening on OBS. It wasn't going through to the crowd there. But yeah, dude, it's
That's interesting.
I mean, this is just the beginning of it, in all honesty, and oh, there you go. Now you got it. But no, dude, oh, now it's doing it. Oh, okay. I was that far behind, I guess. Oh, jeez. Yeah, hang on. Let me push it to live. There we go. No, God, I wonder how far back I really was.
I did a little image correction on you too.
Oh, I believe it needs a lot of image correction. Trust me. But yes, this is what's scary because, like a lot of those places, like you mentioned, like they think it's going to be business as usual soon, or that they could keep doing it, and it's not. Like the open kitchens. Open kitchens? Are you fucking kidding me? Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll tell you, like I said, I think I mentioned it on last week's show, and I'll say Best Buy, what Best Buy is doing right now. One, they laid their part-time people off and said that we're still going to pay you. Two,
so they're not really laid off; they're more like furloughed.
Yeah, and then I also heard that from what I heard that their full-time people actually got a pay bump, and then everything is just curbside pickup. So like straight up, like all you do is order online. There's no browse in the store anymore. Like I think that's what the model is going to be moving forward, because like they're so quick to think that this thing is going to open back up, and it's like, nope. Does it? No. I believe me. It's not something that I'm saying of like, oh yeah, vacation. You know, no. This really sucks, dude. To the point where like this, do you think this could be like a moment that pushes towards societal collapse? I mean,
no, because we have an opportunity to turn it into something better.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
we just people need to realize that capitalism's a failure. Like, if these big fucking companies can't fucking survive a couple of weeks without fucking needing a bailout, then obviously the system was way too fragile. Like, we can't put the production of essential items into the hands of companies, because if they can just fall apart that quickly, like, what the fuck are we gonna, like, we can't have that.
Well, it was their behavior because of these companies of just putting all, like, spreading that global supply chain, global labor pool out, not realizing like, oh shit, we're having our medical supplies made in a country that's prone to fucking outbreaks.
Yeah. Like, with how many people there are in China, especially in the cities, like a disease outbreak there is, like, you know, it's because of what it's going to spread quick because there's so many people per square mile.
Well, and because of what their state is doing with their land and their programs over there, in terms of like taking these agrarian areas, these areas that handled the food supply. And just turn. I mean, it's like Stalinism in a sense of, like, you know, turning it into the industrialization, and just doing it through with this form of like state capitalism over there, of just this marriage of, I mean, could you say fascism, because of this marriage of just capital and the state? I mean, you've got these billionaires in fucking parliament over there, and then you have this state that just directs the capital on what to do.
Yeah.
You know, like what? I mean, it's what the fuck is it? I mean, if anything, it is very like some people have said it's close to like Singapore, and China is actually trying to move towards that. Where Singapore, the state technically owns 70% of the business over there. so then I assume, like some people said, they're trying to push towards that. Um, but regardless of it, it's also a matter of just like you put all the eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Like you dumped everything over there because it was the cheapest option. And right when it's like, oh fuck, where else do we get it from? Now we're scrambling around with this dopey ass president, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like, just
He's definitely
just
not dope, but he is a dope.
I mean, not pulling the trigger on a DPA of just being like, all right, GM, you're making this. All right, disc makers, you're making that. You're just expecting these companies on this it's this insane philosophy of like, this right wing libertarianism. Oh, the market's gonna fix this.
No, that's what the government's there for. Supposed to be anyway. When shit hits the fan and we need shit like, that's what FEMA's for. Like the Federal Emergency Management Administration. Like why aren't they in charge of this?
And that's
instead of Trump.
Yeah.
Like why is Mike Pence in charge? Like he's not he proved in Indiana he doesn't know how to handle disease related crises. So let's
what do you mean?
The AIDS epidemic in Indiana. There was like a lot of you'd have to look it up, but there was a whole like outbreak of AIDS when he was the governor of Indiana, and from what I understand, he just did a real terrible job at trying to do anything about it. Because like it was the pray the gay away kind of thing.
How the fuck do you let an outbreak of AIDS happen in Indiana?
Yeah, exactly. But I'd have to look up more on it. But
in this anno, and when was he governor? In the 2000s, right?
I think I'd have to look it up. Here.
I mean, we know about Reagan with his bullshit. I mean, just completely ignoring it and just letting a generation of men die, basically. But when was he fucking governor?
I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now.
Because he was also a senator too, wasn't he?
Governor of Indiana, 2013 to 2017.
Are you shitting me?
Let's see if it says anything about.
Are you shitting me?
About it in his Wikipedia? Public health.
You have got to be shitting me.
Oh, here's something even better. In 2009, parts of East Chicago were discovered to have toxic lead and arsenic contamination and were designated a Superfund site. Governor Pence declined to declare the Superfund site a state emergency. His successor, Eric Holcomb, issued Executive Order 17-13 declaring a disaster emergency. Okay, so yeah, he ignored. I would guess he had to have been governor more than once, if he was
just a ghoul, just an absolute ghoul.
Beginning in December 2014, there was a HIV outbreak in southern Indiana.
Say the date again. I'm sorry. What was that?
December 2014. Well, yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, 2014, 15. Like, holy shit, dude. Magic Johnson been out for a while telling us. Like,
Republicans controlled legislature and Pence defunded Planned Parenthood. Scott County has been without an HIV testing center since 2013.
Are we starting to see a pattern here, folks? Are we starting to see a pattern of just this like psychopathic? Hey man, you real fast check the mix minus because I think I'm coming through. Yeah, there we go. That's better.
You shouldn't hear yourself.
Okay, it might be through your headphones. That happens. But anyways, more or less, the fact of the matter is that like you start to see the pattern here of he defunding the Planned Parenthood. Adds to this AIDS outbreak in his state, in 2014. Okay, Rick Scott throughout the 2000s guts the fuck out of state services here in Florida, including unemployment. All of a sudden, there's this massive rush on it. The website was like a $78 million boondoggle. It did absolutely nothing, as shown by the story I told you, mine and Roger B's. But hang on a second. Excuse me. There we go. I know. That's cool. I got like the ability to cough button myself a bit. So, but the more or less Roger B story with that the fact that like the Medicare has been completely slashed. All of these social services that were supposed to be there when this shit happens, and when Republicans have been in control, and Democrats too, the last 40 years of the neoliberal ideology, look what's happened. Look what's happened. Look where we are. We are now a pandemic. We are a failed fucking state, dude. Yeah. I'm sorry. This country is a failed state. We are a failed state.
Yeah. Now we need to build something better.
This is Russia in and around, like, I would even say after the wall. I would say it's the clown jobs that fucking took over. You know what I mean? Like, and kind of in a sense been there like since Putin. Because it hasn't been like a party. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, unless you want to sit there. Well, it's been the corporate party, and they just have their puppets that they slide in, like. But it's not like it's not official like that. It's not officially been like, you know, what the Soviet state was. Not communist, excuse me, Soviet. What the Soviet state was. That shit was far from communism. But yeah, dude. I mean, that's why. Like, here you go. Let me look it up right now. It's disgusting. I look at this thing like a fucking scoreboard, and it's sad. It's sad I do this. 7,100 dead. Gonna be 8,000 probably by end of the night.
Fucking. Yep. It's fucking. It's just ridiculous. Like, it pisses me off that, like, they had the fucking tools to deal with this when Trump took office. They had the fucking pandemic response team in the White House. They had the pandemic playbook. And even after they got rid of the pandemic response team, they still had the pandemic playbook.
They had their official in China.
Well, I mean, our government.
In July, and also there is an official that our government had that worked with China, I think, out of the State Department, that left her post in July, and they just didn't replace last year, and they just didn't replace her.
What, like an ambassador or something?
Yeah, it kind of. It was. I don't know if it maybe worked out through like the State Department or through the UN or something like that. But it was like, you know, like an official from the U.S. that like, hey, we work with pandemic shit, and China happens to have a lot of these, so let's all send like some people there, and we're gonna figure this out. And they let it all go. Yeah. They let all that stuff go because they look at I don't know what their thinking is. I really don't. I mean, because they could even find a way to exploit that to make money. If this is about money, like they could find a way to like jimmy that and get their pieces still.
True, but
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it'd still be capitalism, but at least it'd be capitalism that had its eyes in the back of at least one eye in the back of the head. I'm kind of looking at like, oh yeah, a pandemic will be bad for fucking business, guys. Let's kind of fucking organize against this.
Yeah, well, you know, the system's fucked. So, we need to do something about it.
I mean, we're probably going to do this every single week, you know. But where do you see it next week? Let's do that instead of where's it next year? Where's it 6 months?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to guess because this kind of thing, it's not like you can't predict really the spread of it, because it's not a linear expansion. It's a what? I can't think of what the term is, but it it fluctuates. Like it could go up by 60,000 in the next week, or it could go up by 180,000. It just depends on how many people have been exposed in the last two weeks. Or not last 2 weeks, but the week before that, because that's really where we're at. Like, you don't, like, the people who are gonna get symptoms in the next week, they got exposed the week
It's the
before
wave.
last.
Yeah, is it the first level, second level, third level exposure types and and so
Yeah.
forth and so on? But that's what makes this so hard, for the sake of the fact that that for up to 14 days, man.
Yeah.
That's the
I mean, some people can develop them in as soon as 2 days, but I guess it all depends on how much of the virus you've been exposed to, because I would imagine it has to do with, like, how much the virus is replicated in your body as to how fast you get the symptoms. I would think.
What you got pre-existing.
Hmm?
You know, what do you got what you one may have pre-existing as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to add to the factors. Like, in a perfectly healthy person, it could trigger within a day. In someone with with a lung problem, it could be all 14. Then all of a sudden, hi.
Yeah.
Flip the
or
script.
vice versa.
Vice versa.
It could
Flip
take
the
a
script.
healthy
Yeah.
person 14 days and take a smoker 2.
An hour.
Yeah.
You know.
That's part of the reason I'm taking this shit so seriously, is because I was like,
yeah, I have to think about quitting smoking, dude.
If I get it, then that could be real bad for me, but it could also be bad for everyone else in my house. So,
yeah. I mean, and that's that's the thing too.
Everyone in my house is an at-risk person,
dude. And that's the thing too. That like people, like, I'm like out in public, and they'd be like, "Oh man, I ain't got COVID, man. I'm cool." It's like, dude, that's not the point, man. It's not about you having it and me shaming you over it. It's not even so much about, like, it's like we need to start establishing these things. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna start I'm gonna make a cloth mask. There's like instructions online where you just go and you take a t-shirt and, like, you cut, like, these parts here or something. I don't know. And you then use it to make the strips, and then you tie. I'm gonna start going out wearing a mask, because I think it needs to get it's interesting, but it's come to the point where in American society is going to have to get used to wearing a mask out in public
for a while. Yeah. Eventually this virus will just be extinct if everybody fucking plays it smart and fucking starts listening and fucking saying the fucking
word. Man, this thing going it's not going to
survive without being able to be transmitted. They've already shown that it doesn't survive well outside of it. It's one of those diseases that thrive. It thrives because it's so transmissible. If you cut off its vector to transmit from one person to another to another to another, then it won't survive long. It's kind of like a zombie outbreak. If everybody fucking stayed indoors and protected themselves, zombies would be over in no time. Believe it or not. Especially since the military would come out and start kicking our asses too. You bet your ass all the military guys would be like, "Holy shit, zombies! Lock and loads, guys! We're going to kill some shit."
It's time, yeah. That's that's the one thing I've been seeing on social. People just ready to find a justification for murder.
Yeah. There's all kinds of weird shit going around on the internet, but it's the internet, so I don't.
But that's But even then,
look at the let's storm Area 51 thing.
Yeah, but you also got to think you have a lot of people home, and a lot of people under this traumatic event. A lot of us are going through this traumatic event. It's very traumatic. Yeah. I'll say it again.
I have to be stuck in this house.
as am I. I mean, I got fun toys. I have fun toys, but I would like to find ways that these toys can at least get me paid a little bit more than what they are now. So I'm trying to work on that. But this is Like, dude, I'm getting ready to think about playing a Victory Garden. You know,
Victory Garden? What do you mean Victory Garden?
Oh, dude, I think I talked about it last week. I didn't do it. I was a slacker. It's this goddamn show. But no, I talked about, dude, I'm talking veggies, salad greens, and just easy stuff that goes in the bins that you can just put outside and protect and get yourself a nice little fucking veggie, like salad harvests, straight salad harvests. You know, the salad greens get to a point, you literally just go and you just scissor off what you need, pick tomatoes that you want, and then
like tomatoes.
Cucumbers.
They're only good for two things: salad. Or I mean, they're only too good for two things: salsa and ketchup. That's it. Cucumbers. Well, if they're pickled, yeah.
Oh, you make, well, no, that's one thing too. Is it's use them like cucumbers raw or pickle them for pickles.
They last a lot longer if you pickle them.
Well, yeah, it's smart. I mean, because this is
highly acidic environment, so you don't have to worry about bacteria and shit.
So that's the thing, though, bro. I mean, it's the potential to look into like depression type shit.
Well, not highly, but high enough acidity that bacteria won't grow in pickle juice.
And you can pickle a lot of things.
Oh yeah, you could pickle eggs. You could pickle beets. You could pickle carrots if you wanted to. Probably.
What else we pickling?
I don't know. I'm not pickling anything.
I live
in woods. I don't have room to grow shit like that.
Dude, you should look for like, I don't know, man. You should look for like good like herbs, like roots and stuff to like pick and harvest. There's probably like woodland mushroom, woodland root.
I don't eat mushrooms.
Well.
What? What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Not all mushrooms. Hashtag not all mushrooms.
All right.
But yeah, like I said, man, it's stuff that it is stuff to think about. It is stuff to think about. So, are you out of drinks?
Yeah, I'm out of beverage.
We can call it if you want.
No, we're at 10:30. So,
an hour and a half.
Call it or what? I don't know.
Well, you got something? I mean, I brought shit to the table, I think.
I think that's pretty much all I had to talk about.
Yeah, it's just another week of fucking quarantine. Another week of watching these low numbers all of a sudden and still freak people out,
just, like,
and then wait till they turn high.
Some fucking movie or something.
Not on this channel.
Fuck it. Yeah, I should still make that burner YouTube channel. Let's just make a new Google account just to
or Discord, dude. I mean, I can't see why you wouldn't be able to do it that way. The sound may not be all that great, but
well, I mean, my sound in Discord comes from the board anyway, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it might dip and dive because depending on how many people come in there and
well, if
and
it's on my server, I could just make it so that other people
only you talk and it's open chat and they're not.
Yeah, I could just have it set so that I'm just streaming the movie.
But it's going to be safer. I think it would be safer.
I don't know how to if people can full screen the stream though.
Yes.
Oh, they can?
Well, full screenish.
Full screenish.
7/8.
All right. Well,
yeah, because I did that. I did that watching my bro watch. Did that with my brother watching Bannerlord the one night, checking out his game, his massive arm. He's got 50 dudes stacked, just going through, just ripping off looters and robbers and garbage people. Well, yeah, I mean, you have
no, excuse me. Supposed to open over there.
Yeah,
it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to open there.
Oh, look at that. But yeah, I mean that back to that Bannerlord, it was basically like you have so many different ways to play the game. Like you yourself can go off and just like the one way that we play is just kind of like a somewhat neutral good. Nice. He's a neutral good type of character. We'll go beat up, like if we see robbers on the map, we'll go beat them up and then go engage in like trade caravans on our own. Like actual legit trading and stuff. It's a pretty decent RPG, man. I don't know. I'll have to stream it for you. Well, I could probably do the second one, not this one, the old one.
Can't do the old one. Why not?
The old one, yes. The new one, no. Because it's like I said, it's probably the stream is going to be shitty. The computer's nice, but it's not that nice. It's not that nice. Do I hear metal?
What kind of processor you got in there? Well, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, hang on. I'll tell you. No, it's right here. Hang on. I'll tell you. Properties. I just had it. Where is? There it is. What are you looking? What is someone like kicking in your door? You all right?
No, I'm just looking at the clock, which is over there.
Okay, let's see. General. No. Security. No. Hardware. Oh God, that's not helping me. That
doesn't help at all.
It's really not. Where's that fucking screen at that shows that shit? Jesus. Let's see my giant forehead. Giant forehead. Yeah, I do sound a little crispy. I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't push my EQs at all, but it sounds like I do. I mean, is it that line in plug? I thought I had it clean. Where do I click that shows the thing that's like, oh, this is your that little page that shows the window info and all that stuff.
I'm not sure, but all right. Well, I don't know. It's 10:35.
So. Okay. All right. I'm going to bed now.
All right. So we'll try and come up with something for fun for next week.
What time are we gonna do
all fun? I don't know. We'll put up a post on the Facebook page this week, asking do people post what day works best for them.
No, fuck that. No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
No. 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 Because I don't need nobody being like, hey, we need this on Monday, 10 a.m. Because if I go back to work, how the fuck am I going to do this on Monday at 10 a.m.?
All right, well, I guess we'll just roll the dice on when the next one will be.
Yeah, well, I was, I mean, we have time. It's just we have to,
we'll
just pick one day. Wednesday's a good day. Because Tuesday, look, Tuesday you're busy. Tuesday I'll be busy again if this changes, but who knows? But yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to start the music. I'm going to start it. It's going to happen.
Hit the music. There it is. Thought we were going to do the sirens again.
Nope. All right. So I guess that is it for this week.
That it is. Thanks, buddy. Great job.
So far this week. And where did I put the window? I got to find the window. There it is. All right. Catch everybody sometime in the next week. All right.
Later, folks.
Later.